Moses, from the Nile to Mount Sinai, a journey of faith, sacrifice, and divine purpose. In a time when the Israelites languished in the bondage of Egyptian slavery, the birth of Moses was shrouded in peril yet destined for greatness. Pharaoh, gripped by fear of the burgeoning Hebrew population, had decreed that every newborn Hebrew boy be slain. Amid such dire circumstances, Moses' mother, guided by unwavering trust in God, courageously hid her precious son for 3 months. When secrecy was no longer possible, she crafted a small ark of bulrushes, coated it with tar and pitch, and set him adrift along the banks of the Nile. Alongside the tiny vessel, her quiet, desperate prayer for deliverance and divine purpose sailed with him into an uncertain future. The currents of fate soon secured Moses' salvation. Pharaoh's daughter, during her routine visit to the world beyond the palace, discovered the crying infant nestled among the reeds. Moved by compassion, she rescued him and, learning of his Hebrew origin, arranged for his own mother to care for him until he could be weaned. Yet, destiny had woven a different tapestry. After his early years of nurturing away from the very oppression he was born into, Moses was brought into the royal household as her adopted son. Within the opulent corridors of the Egyptian palace, he was afforded the finest education and the luxuries of court life. Still, deep inside, the echoes of his true heritage and the pain of his enslaved kin resonated relentlessly in his heart. As Moses matured, the stark contrast between the life of privilege he led and the harsh reality of his fellow Hebrews became increasingly unbearable. Witnessing the suffering of his people day after day, his heart burned with righteous indignation. One fateful day, when he saw an Egyptian brutally striking a Hebrew slave, an overwhelming sense of injustice propelled him into action. In a moment of desperate courage, Moses intervened, ending the life of the oppressor and, in doing so, sealing his fate as one whose destiny was intertwined with the fate of his people. Overwhelmed by guilt and the inevitable consequences, he fled Egypt, disappearing into the vast solitude of Midian. In the barren deserts of Midian, Moses lived as a humble shepherd for many years, his soul wrestling with loneliness and the pain of unfulfilled potential. Yet destiny lingered on the horizon. During an ordinary day tending his flock, Moses encountered an extraordinary sight. A bush ablaze with fire that, paradoxically, was not consumed. Transfixed, he approached this divine mystery, only to hear the clear, commanding voice of God emanating from the flames. In that holy moment at the burning bush, Moses was called to a monumental task, to return to Egypt and lead his people to freedom. Though filled with self-doubt and trepidation, the call resonated deeply within him, igniting a spark that transformed him from a reluctant exile into the valiant deliverer of Israel. With a heart heavy with both fear and divine purpose, Moses journeyed back to Egypt. Confronting Pharaoh, he spoke not as a mere man but as a chosen vessel of God's will. His words carried the weight of generations of suffering, echoing the plea for liberation that had long been silenced. What followed were events of awe and terror. A series of devastating plagues swept over Egypt, each a testament to the overwhelming power of the Almighty. The climactic miracle came at the shores of the Red Sea, where, as Pharaoh's armies closed in, Moses stretched out his hand, and the waters parted in a display of divine intervention, allowing the Israelites to march to safety. This singular act of faith marked both a turning point in their journey and a defining moment in Moses' life. A moment where human frailty was overshadowed by the might of unwavering belief. The path to freedom, however, was far from over. The Israelites embarked on a long, arduous journey through the desert, a pilgrimage marked by moments of hope, despair, rebellion, and redemption. Amid the scorching sands of Sinai, Moses ascended a rugged mountain shrouded in mystery. In the profound silence of that sacred space, he received the 10 Commandments, carved in stone by God's own hand. These commandments were not just laws. They were the embodiment of a covenant, a divine promise that bound the Creator and his chosen people in a relationship of love, guidance, and mutual accountability. Standing at the foot of the mountain, Moses witnessed the struggle of a people still wrestling with doubt and idolatry, yet also their capacity for boundless faith and hope. Throughout his journey, Moses was not merely a leader in battle and law but a compassionate shepherd of souls, bearing the burdens of his people's doubts as well as their triumphs. His life was a tapestry woven from threads of sorrow, valor, and miracle, a journey marked by moments of personal sacrifice, fervent prayer, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Each step Moses took, from his infancy on the Nile to his final moments looking upon the promised land, a land he would never enter, was imbued with the profound interplay of divine destiny and human determination. A time to reflect. Moses' extraordinary journey is a timeless reminder that even in our darkest moments, when the weight of the world seems insurmountable, there is a divine plan at work. His life teaches us that leadership is not defined by power or privilege, but by the courage to confront injustice, the humility to accept divine guidance, and the resilience to persevere through trials. Like Moses, we too can embrace the challenges that shape us, trusting that each hardship is an opportunity to draw closer to God and discover our true purpose. May his story inspire you to look beyond the immediate struggles, to seek the light even when engulfed by darkness, and to step forward with faith that every trial is part of a greater plan. If you found this deep exploration of Moses' life moving, please like and subscribe for more inspiring biblical journeys and reflections that speak to the heart and soul.